afternoon, everyone. So I'd like you first to think for me about that one book that you read in high school or college that really altered your way of thinking. And now imagine that that book had never been part of your life, that it was simply unavailable to you. And this is the reality for most Bangladeshi youth. Bangladesh is the 8th most populous country in the world, and the capital city of Dhaka has 7.6 million residents and only 6 public libraries to serve this population. That means that accessibility to resources is very low, and that those resources that challenged you and helped you grow as a scholar and as a person are simply unavailable if you were a 20-year-old in Bangladesh. So Naveen here set out to answer the question of why were so many intelligent and qualified Bangladeshi youth leaving the country for higher education and not returning? Why was this brain drain occurring? And moreover, what were the solutions that had not yet been thought of to combat this problem? See, there are currently several NGOs in the country that focus on serving poor, rural, underprivileged children and students through books, resources, libraries, etc. And this is incredibly valuable, as this is the majority of the population. However, it leaves a certain demographic largely forgotten. And this is the demographic of high school and college-age students that we're really focusing on through Disha. We're creating a unique space in Bangladesh that allows for critical engagement, intelligent discourse among this demographic. And our organization really aims to challenge the status quo of education in Bangladesh currently and infuse creativity into this system. So we're doing this through readers cafes and resource centers. And our idea behind this is that these centers will be a combination of a library, a creative programs area, as well as a cafe component. And so for a bit more on our programs, you guys can turn to section 3.1 of your handouts to learn more about our panels and speakers, events, as well as some of our entrepreneurship classes, etc. But I want to take a moment here to really highlight some of the coffee shop aspects because that's what makes Internet so special. So coffee shops are incredibly popular in Bangladesh right now and in very high demand. And so in that way, we think it will add appeal and ambiance to our center as a whole. But moreover, it's going to provide an internal revenue center for each center so that they can eventually become sustainable within themselves, and future donations and funds can be channeled towards expansion. And so in this way, we're really adopting the philanthro-capitalism model and hoping to create a social business. So our first center is going to be in the capital city of Dhaka, but then we hope to expand within 10 years out throughout Bangladesh. We've identified 5 critical districts in Bangladesh as well as internationally. So this graph in front of you is showing you our financial projections for the next 4 years of our pilot resource center and readers cafe. So it's focusing on the costs of running a library and a cafe component, and we project that within 3 years, the revenues from the coffee shop will make this center sustainable. For more information on our financial detail of our financial plan, as well as a market summary analysis, you can look on pages 6 and 8 of your handouts. We have to answer more questions afterwards. But essentially, we're thinking that our startup costs for our first Disha Center will amount to $86,000. Now, we hope to glean as much of that as possible through the Big Idea Fair, and we'd also be really happy to talk with you more about the social returns we expect to see from this investment, hopefully from you guys. Moreover, we really focused on building partnerships in the first few phases of our organization. 2 kinds of partnerships we're focusing on: community partnerships as well as funding partnerships. More information on all of these current potential partnerships can be found on pages 13 through 17 of your handouts. But essentially, in terms of fundraising, we realized that the Big Idea Fair grant will not be an end in itself, and we really have identified several target organizations and people who we hope to reach out to for continuous donations. And in this way, we really understand the importance of leveraging. And very excitingly, in fact, we have one private donor who's pledged $5,000 to us upon, this is a match donation if we win the Big Idea Fair. And so in this way, we're really hoping to build momentum. In addition, we have several community partnerships. We've reached out to librarians, legal experts, entrepreneurs, business professionals to really get advice from them and learn from their expertise. And we also plan on establishing an advisory board right after the Big Idea Fair in order to gain from their experience. For book donations, we already have 1,500 books. A lot of them are actually from CC, so thank you, CC. We also have 30 projected continuous partnerships by the end of the year. So a bit about our management team that I am just privileged to be a part of, because it's a really dynamic group of people, and they all bring a different strength to the team. And I really want to highlight Naveen here for a moment, because she is really the visionary for this project. She is a lifelong resident of Dhaka, and so she brings that cultural savvy to the team. In addition, this is not her first NGO. She founded Green Channel in 2011, which is an internationally recognized nonprofit organization. And for more information on Green Channel and the rest of our team and our details, you can look at section 7.1 in your handouts. But essentially, coming to me next, I'm Samantha Barlow, and I'm the CEO of Disha, and I bring extensive leadership experience to the team, as well as experience in the nonprofit NGO sectors. And then we have Alex Harlan here with us too. He's our financial guru, and he brings extensive experience in financial accounting through coursework as well as internship experiences. So in closing, Disha is providing books and online resources to help battle brain drain in Bangladesh. But moreover, we're feeling a vital void that other education sector NGOs have yet to address. And in this way, Disha is very forward-thinking. And we hope the seeds that we plant today are going to expand into something that will change and challenge the current and conventional method of higher education in Bangladesh for years and years to come. And in this way, we're meeting the needs of and empowering Bangladesh's next young leaders. Thank you very much. We welcome your questions. Questions, yes?
Hard copy versus soft copy. Hard copy books are heavy and bulky, so what do you're going to have a cafe, is that notes and other things there as well?
Yes, we're actually really focusing on, there's several millions of open source materials that we're really going to hopefully provide. In the second section of your handouts, we address the fact that we're going to have Kindles, hopefully have Kindles, as well as provide lots of online and internet resources. Currently, 5% of the population has access to internet. That's compared to 78% in the US, and so we are definitely planning on providing that more because shipping books is incredibly expensive. So we're planning on having both components.
So as simply as possible, in 10 years, what exactly is the transformation that will take place?
We'll try to reach out to different parts of Bangladesh. So we're starting with Dhaka, that is the capital, but we want to reach out to all the other 5 districts of the country. And we also want to improve our programming area and have as much as possible, and also improve on the research center and have more tools, academic tools for people to use.
So essentially in 10 years, you'll have 10 different centers that are all sustainable. We'll be looking to expand internationally as well.
And that's inside out, that's you and out. What is the transformation for the people of Bangladesh?
We're essentially hoping to reduce brain drain because most of the students who don't have good access to education, higher education, they leave the country and never come back. So our target is to provide as much resources to college level and high school level students as possible.
In addition to that, a lot of Naveen is, of course, from Bangladesh, and so she has several contacts who are also going to university there. And so a lot of them have talked about the lack of research materials, like they have JSTOR, but even that is sort of fickle sometimes. And so we're planning on providing a lot of research engines at SCO. We've already reached out to them. And so supplementing, the thing is there's 24 university libraries in the country, but those are exclusive to university students, and they don't go between universities. So that means that high schoolers and university students don't have a lot of access to other research materials. And so hopefully all of these centers, conveniently located in the university districts, will be able to supplement the educational experience of current students and hopefully be a model for the future. And then all of our programs will essentially do that as well.
Which is theoretically great. I'm looking for something that you can measure. So what I want to hear is that you will stem the exit of the brains. What is that?
Right.
So that you can actually measure the impact that you've had. Will it be 10% fewer people will be exiting Bangladesh than before, or have you given that kind of sizing any consideration?
Yes. So the thing is there's several measurements that are very easy for us to measure, especially in the short term. Number of books checked out, people coming to our centers, expansion, etc. But in terms of getting numbers on the actual, the thing is what we want to really look at is the ratio of students who are choosing to study abroad versus choosing to attend university in country. Those numbers are incredibly hard to find. There are several sources that have those numbers, but we're not at the place right now where we can conduct, World Bank database type full economic sort of statistical analyses. So those are very hard numbers to find, but there are several indicators that you can kind of look at and combine that we've already sort of explored that you can hopefully, and hopefully in 10 years there will be more statistical data on how that trend gets reversed.
So my only encouragement would be to look for something that would measure results, not activity.
Right.
Or in addition to that.
Right. Absolutely.
We have time for one more question.
Great presentation.
Questions from maybe the audience, or?
So, I come from Kenya, and it's a third-world country, and I went to school in South Africa, and it was a new school, and there was a library, and we got so many books from the States, and from colleges all over the States. But, the thing is, almost no students use the books, because they're written from an American perspective, and you find that the examples used there, almost everything there is so American-centric. And the books are not that useful for most of the studies, like in the countries where you will take them to. So how do you hope to address that?
Incredibly valuable question that you.
I think we will not get books only from the U.S. This is where we're starting, but one of our team members is actually from China, and she's also contacted a lot of people within China to get some books from there. So we have an incredibly dynamic team, and with international students involved. One of them is from Japan, Yukiya, another is from China, and Bangladesh. And so we will definitely reach out to other places. This is just a starting point.
In addition, and there's a whole, in our needs assessment section right now, there's a whole explanation of the English language usage in Bangladesh and the importance of English languages. But we also, sort of in our grand vision, we'd love to be a publishing, have a publishing article, but essentially we're going to also focus on getting books also in Bengali and really being very careful in screening the books that we send over, because you're absolutely right that it's, we've already actually removed some of the books from the 1,500 that we've acquired because of the problem that you're raising.
Do you hope to get books from the country itself?
Absolutely, yes. Yes.